Hey, welcome back. My name is James Johnson. My expertise lies in retirement, estate planning, and saving businesses taxes. And boy, what a ride! Trump tariff turmoil. Here we go again. Trump's out there turning up the water, seeing what we can do. But you know what? You should be really, really worried about this because if you're within 5 years of retirement or you've already reached retirement, then this could be a real problem for you. See, the worst time to lose money is the 5 years before you retire and the 5 years after you retire. Trump imposed a 100% tariff on China starting in November. Well, what does that mean? That means that yesterday or Friday, we had the worst market loss since Trump's been in office. It's a huge drop. Now, the question is, will it drop farther? Will it continue to drop? All the reports out there say that we're looking at a large loss in the market going forward. But you know what? Who knows? The reality is the market will go up and the market will go down. The question is not if the market's going to go up or if the market's going to go down. The question is how many times is that going to happen inside of your retirement? And how close are you to retirement? Do you have enough time to recover from any of these losses that are inside of there? So, what do we do? What do we do about all this? Well, I like to liken all of this to playing the stock market, okay? Or to going to Las Vegas and gambling in the stock market is much like playing in the stock market. You see, do you know how you win in Las Vegas? You don't play. You know how you double your money in Las Vegas? You go like this, you fold it in half. I got a quick story for you. I was actually in Las Vegas about 10 days ago. And we're there, and this guy I was there with, he's a multi-millionaire, and he wanted to go in and he wanted to gamble inside of this casino. So we go in the casino and gamble. I don't like gambling. It's not something I like to do. I don't like to gamble with my retirement money. I don't like to gamble with my own money. But while I'm sitting there watching him play the roulette table, I says, well, I'm going to go over here and put $100 in this slot machine. I went and found my favorite slot machine, put $100 in, pulled the handle 4 times, won $297, cashed it out, walked over to the thing, and cashed my money in. He was still playing roulette. Went up, watched him play roulette for about another 45 minutes, watched him give his money away. And it just kept going and going. And while that was happening, there was a 21 table off to the side over here that had this little screen that said, if you get a 21, then you get to go after this big, huge jackpot, which kind of intrigued me. So he went over to the 21 table. I says, you know what, I'll play with you. I took out 100 of that 197 I was ahead on, and I put it down on the blackjack table. Well, long story short, I hit $233. So as soon as I hit $233, I went, I cashed in my money, and I walked away $330 ahead. So that's how you win in Las Vegas. When you win, you leave. Now, we're moving to retirement. So when we get to retirement, we've got to be concerned about our paychecks. And we got to make sure that our paychecks are not only coming, but are guaranteed. Because see, we want to live the lifestyle we've become accustomed to, adjusted for taxes and inflation, out beyond ours and our spouse's life expectancy, and then we want to pass our money on in the most tax favorable way possible. So when we get to retirement and we stop working and we no longer have a paycheck, we're going to need a paycheck. So we're going to have our known incomes. And these are going to be our 3 sources of known incomes over here. We're going to have a pension if we're lucky enough to have one. We're going to have Social Security, and we're going to have possibly an annuity. And then we're going to have a need, and that's going to be up here. And in between, we're going to have a gap. And that gap is going to have to be filled by all those assets we managed to put together. Now, pension, that's something that we're going to get if we're lucky enough. Social Security, but an annuity is something we're actually going to have to buy if we want it. So we're going to use those assets to do that. Now, first question is our pension actually well funded? And you can see here, if you look across the country, the colors that are in yellow really do have a problem, and they may not make it through their pension throughout their entire retirement. But we go over here to Social Security, and what do we know about Social Security? Well, we know Social Security is going to change. There's a course that we have just on Social Security, but let's breeze over it really quickly here. What we know about Social Security is there's a number, it's called PIA. It's your primary insurance amount, which happens at FRA, which is your full retirement age. Now, for some people, that's 66 and 10 months, so on and so forth. But people like myself, I'm 64 years old. My full retirement age is 67. But you see, every single year I wait after that, I get an 8% increase on my Social Security. So in most cases, it makes sense to wait to take my Social Security to a later date, which means I'm going to need to be using those assets, those IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, those things that are imploding right now. I'm going to need those to provide me with those guaranteed streams of income. And I'm also going to need some inflation protection. Now, Social Security adds a little bit of inflation protection, but I'm going to need to make sure that these assets that I put to work for me are able to keep up with inflation, and not only inflation, but taxes. Now, if you read your Social Security statement and you actually understand what's going on, what you're going to find is that Social Security is going to get adjusted most likely in the year 2033. They actually say that the average individual in the United States, that Social Security will take care of 40% of the income needs that you'll need, but all of your other income is going to have to come from somewhere else. Pensions, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, gold, silver, cryptocurrency, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, etc. So how do we do that? Well, the only other source of income that we can get that's a guaranteed stream of income is an annuity. Oh, there's that terrible word, annuity. You see, everybody always says it's a terrible, terrible thing, yet they don't understand what it really is. So let's talk about what is a CD. Well, a CD is a certificate of disappointment. It's a certificate of deposit with a banking institution. It's a set rate for a set amount of time. So in other words, it's a savings account. We get a set rate for a set amount of time. If we take it out early, there's a penalty. Well, did you know that annuity really is kind of the same thing? Although there are 3 types of annuities. So an annuity is, most people believe that we give the insurance company money and they give us a stream of income. Well, that would be called a SPIA, a single premium immediate annuity. But that's not necessary, because in today's day and age, we can use an insurance company to be banking our money inside of there. And should we need it for income throughout that annuity, we can get a guaranteed stream of income that we can't outlive no matter how long we live. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So an annuity works much like that, Social Security, in that every year we wait, it's guaranteed to grow over time. And if we buy the right annuity, by the way, there's only a couple of them out there that I would consider to be the right annuity, but if we buy the right annuity, we're going to get an income that's going to help to keep up with inflation over time. Now, I know your stockbroker, your Fidelity, your Schwab, your Fisher Investments all said, well, you should put your money in the markets and use dividend stocks and blah, blah, blah. That's like saying everybody out there should drive a white Prius. You see, that's ridiculous. The bottom line is you're going through this accumulation stage of your life, and you're over here trying to accumulate enough money so that when you arrive over here in my world, which is preservation and distribution, you don't run out of money. And that's a lot easier said than done, because in this world, the market's going up and down and up and down, and it's no big deal. And the reason why it's no big deal is because you have a paycheck. So you don't have to touch this money. But when you move into the preservation distribution stage of your life, it's a very big deal, because see, now you have to take money out of this account. So if you have to take, let's just say $60,000 a year in order to survive on your $1 million, and the market's making 6%, life is good. 6%, life is good. 1 year, just one, the market loses 20%. Now you would say, well, you're at $800,000, but the reality is you still had to take your $60,000, so you're at $740,000. So an event like just happened on Friday, where the market drops 5%, and God knows what's happening today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or an adjustment in the market, an event like that can really ruin your retirement in a big hurry. It's not a big deal when we're accumulating, but it's a very big deal when distribution. Now, they say crazy things like annuities have high fees. Well, the reality is that most annuities, most good annuities, have no fees. And they have principal protection, guaranteed lifetime income, and opportunities for increase. Time magazine says that securing at least a base level of lifetime income should be every retiree's priority, at least if they want to live happily ever after. Now, we help people out there, individuals, businesses. My expertise lies in retirement, estate planning, and saving businesses' taxes. We have many, many ways to help people. If you want to know more about how to secure your retirement, reach out. Set up a no cost, no obligation, no high pressure sales meeting, and let's get together and figure out where are you going, and is your plan working? If you don't want to do that, you don't want to meet with us, go out to our website. Underneath the education side of our website, you'll find that we have quite a few courses on these subjects that you can actually go get an in-depth education on how these things work and what products to use out there to make it work for you. But remember to subscribe to our channel, like this video, put a comment below about where you're watching this video from. Was it helpful to you? And be sure to subscribe. Now, market dropped on Friday, probably going to drop on Monday, Tuesday, then it's going to come back. It's going to go back and forth and back and forth. But the question is, how close are you to your retirement? Are you in retirement? Are you nearing retirement? Because if you are, these kind of drops can really be detrimental to your overall picture. Remember to keep smiling, live like you're going to die tomorrow, and plan like you're going to live forever, because you just might. Keep smiling and make it a great day.